What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. First of all, let me start by saying I hope you all had an absolute brilliant Christmas. I know I did, other than getting a black eye and sparring a couple of days before Christmas. I mean, I hope you can't notice it, but you can. But don't worry about that. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the journey we've been on, why we started on the journey, and what point we're at now in the journey, okay? So let's start from September 2020. Now, do you know what? Scratch that. We're going to go all the way back to before this video series started. A lot of you guys who are new here might not know the story about why I started this video series in the first place. So let's get going on that. I used to be a streamer. I was a live streamer and I streamed Call of Duty. I started by streaming Call of Duty Blackout. I used to stream zombies as well when I was doing world record attempts. And I actually did hold 4 world records, but one got taken away pretty quick. So 3 I held for quite a while, but we're not going to get into that because not many of you guys are zombies fans. And the ones who are, I think the live streams for them world records might actually still be on this channel. I started live streaming Blackout. That was the main thing I live streamed. This was a game that I enjoyed, the addiction to the Battle Royale game, and this game was my introduction into Battle Royale. I'd played multiplayer, I'd played zombies, but there was never a Battle Royale I'd played. I hadn't played PUBG at the time, and I definitely hadn't played Fortnite at the time. I have since played them, but Blackout was my gateway Battle Royale, so to speak. And I enjoyed it, the thrill of it. It was fantastic. I met a couple of people along the way, and I was live streaming it. The only reason I chose to live stream that game was because my brother, BadBoy Beaman, decided to tell me, hey, you should live stream this on Twitch. So guess what? I did. Live stream to Twitch. It didn't go very well. Sitting on between 3 and maybe 8 viewers. I was enjoying it though. It was fun. I didn't really look at it as a serious thing. I was streaming directly from my PlayStation 4 at the time. I moved over to YouTube. The reason I moved to YouTube with the live streams was because I put a couple of videos out about Blackout, and guess what? They were successful. I ended up getting partnered on YouTube. And that was the moment where I sat there and thought, you know what? I need to start taking this streaming a little bit more serious. I moved to YouTube. It wasn't the best, okay? It wasn't. But a lot of people were talking about Facebook gaming. I actually started doing a couple of streams with Facebook gaming streamers. It was all new at the time. We're talking, what, 2 years ago? Maybe more. OG Killer Elite, Shorty115, to name but a few. I'd done a couple of streams with them, I'd played with them often, and it was fun and it was entertaining, and I realised that the platform they had much more of a reach on that. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go over to Facebook gaming, and I did. And on Facebook gaming is where this journey sort of began, and the reason for that is because of the success that I was receiving on Facebook gaming as a streamer. So I started off by going over to Facebook. I was streaming Blackout, and then once Blackout sort of started to fizzle out, Modern Warfare 2019 come out. There was absolutely no Battle Royale. There wasn't even talks of there being a Battle Royale release. There was rumours, but people didn't believe it. It was one of them where people were sort of shutting Modern Warfare 2019 down because there's no Battle Royale, because of the addiction that Blackout caused for a lot of people. And let's be honest, I was addicted to that game. Getting that win, that dub, the feeling you got from that was fantastic. So people wanted that, but in Modern Warfare 2019. I moved over to Modern Warfare 2019, started doing the 2v2 gunfight tournaments, and I was absolutely slapping on that game. That started bringing in a lot of views, and because of that I met a couple of different streamers as well. Streamers who I'd heard of in the past from different platforms who were now all on Facebook gaming. So we decided to link up, and whilst we're playing these 2v2 gunfights, we get the news that Warzone is coming out. Everybody was raving about the fact Warzone was coming out, because guess what? A Battle Royale on that game with those mechanics would be amazing compared to Blackout. It was next level, the thought of it. But I'd already had a head start because guess what? I'd been playing Modern Warfare 2v2 gunfights and understood the mechanics of the game compared to people who stuck on Blackout. And some of those people are still on Blackout to this day, by the way. Rossi, he knows who he is. But moving forward from there, when Warzone come out, I was actually in like the top 100 in the world for the first week or so for wins. But there was a big massive uproar about content creators saying this game isn't designed for wins. It's not designed for wins, it's designed for high kill games, right? Fair enough, because high kill games can be gotten on that game, but a Battle Royale is solely designed for the last team standing to get the win. They're the real victors. If you get 30 kills and finish 10th, you don't win. If you get 2 kills and finish first, that's a win. But I designed my whole gameplay around getting those dubs. But unfortunately, me sitting there playing 14 hours a day to keep myself in the top 100 on wins, I just couldn't do it. I had other things to do, a life to live and so on. So I decided to cut the hours down, just live stream for so many hours each day. And it was still good, I still enjoyed myself. And bear in mind guys, at this point I was on PlayStation 4. Throughout the whole time I was streaming on Facebook Gaming, I was using a PlayStation 4. Okay, that's all I ever streamed Warzone from, was the PS4. I was playing alongside a couple of teammates. All these teammates were in fact Facebook streamers as well. And then eventually I started to gain that success that everybody as a streamer wants to get. You go from having 20 viewers to 50 viewers in a couple of weeks, and then from 50 viewers it goes up and sneaks up to 100. It's fantastic. There's no better feeling. People want to watch you. People are watching you entertain them, and it's fantastic. And then it went from 100 to 150 to 200, and I was averaging between 150 and 200 viewers, concurrent viewers that is guys. And honestly, I'd never felt so happy as a streamer. The fact that it all started back on Twitch when my brother BadBoy Beaman turned around and said to me, hey, you should stream this, you know, you can do it from your PlayStation. And I was sitting there on between 3 and maybe 8 viewers on Twitch. That's where it all started, me having a mess about on Twitch, live streaming video games, not knowing what to say to somebody who'd commented in the chat. And now I'm sitting there on Facebook Gaming, averaging between 150 and 200 viewers. It was brilliant, but there's sneaky ways on Facebook that a lot of people are probably aware of. You can create a fake profile, invite people from someone else's page to go and like your page. Okay, now this might all sound a little bit weird to you guys, but one of the people I was playing with was doing some sly things in the background, which was very similar to what I've just mentioned about the fake account and so on. And I didn't have a clue what was going on, because I didn't find out until further down the line when some of my own community on Facebook Gaming reached out to me and said, I've had an invite to this page from this account, and I think it might be the person whose page it is. Now I'm saying all this in a way to keep that streamer's name out of it, because I don't want to tarnish his name any further than it already has been. He's already been mentioned in a video on this channel in the past, and I'm sure the OGs in this community will know who it is anyway. There's no reason to comment it down below either guys. But the issue we had is, as I've mentioned, the growth that we were receiving and how it kept gradually going up. Within the space of around 2 months, that 150 to 200 concurrent viewers dropped massively. Now imagine this, somebody inviting people who like your page and watch your stream to watch their stream, but then inviting them to games and then getting them easy wins. Easy wins every single game. Come and play with me, I'll carry you to a win. Don't worry about it, I'll get the dub. And then you start watching the gameplay and thinking, that doesn't seem natural. That doesn't look natural. And bear in mind, throughout all of this, that guy, that streamer, was the guy I went to with my issues. We spoke. Everybody's got that sort of close friend in the streaming community who they speak with about their issues or their next step into the future of their streaming. I was sharing all of this with this other streamer, and it turns out he was just absolutely snaking me the whole way. And then I found myself sitting on between 5 and 10 viewers, and I still respected the fact that those 5 and 10 viewers were still willing to come and watch me. But when this guy was willing to play with every single person who he had watching him, they didn't want to watch me anymore, they went to watch him. And maybe that's down to me at some part. Maybe I wasn't entertaining enough. Maybe I wasn't willing to play with them as much as they would have liked to play with me. But either way, I found out that this streamer was cheating. And that is when I decided to hang up the controller and step away from the streaming. I moved away from it completely, just quit, absolutely stopped. And at no point between me starting streaming and the day I stopped streaming did I ever stream from a PC. It was always from PlayStation 4. But this guy had switched from PlayStation over to PC, and I started researching into the cheats. That was the moment I started looking into it, because essentially he had ruined something that I had built. I had spent 2 years or more building a community, building something that could essentially be classed as a business at that point. I was turning over a profit, I was making money. And the reason this was such a big problem for me as well is because I'd actually had a little bit of a discussion with my partner, who had sat down with me and we discussed the fact that streaming wasn't earning any money. I needed a full-time job maybe, and we spoke. She supported me. She supported me as I was being a streamer, as I was trying to gain success as a streamer. And she was the real rock behind it all for me along the whole journey, because she essentially said, don't worry about it, do what you gotta do, chase your dream. And if it pays out, it pays out. I'll give you 12 months. And guess what? After that 12-month period, I was doing just fine. And that's when it all started to go wrong with this other streamer. And that all just went to shit in a short space of time due to this guy and his actions. So I made it my mission to expose him for what he really is. I found screenshots from conversations where he'd actually admitted to using aimbot. I actually shared them out onto Facebook on my old personal Facebook account. And people were calling me a rat. People were calling me a snake. People were telling me to delete that post. So they were protecting him. And I realised that maybe that's just how it is. You call someone out, even if they're blatantly cheating, their fans and community will protect them. So I was having none of it. I went out my way and downloaded multiple different cheat engines to start researching them. And that's when I started on this journey. And we started off by exposing a couple of streamers here and there as time went on, growing the channel, growing subscribers, to the point where I felt like I had enough of a following to make an impact on this one guy. And that's when I dropped the video about him, and I explained in full detail everything that he'd done in the tournaments that he'd used the cheats in, and everything along the way, with screenshots of those messages proving that he'd admitted to having a Cronus Sen, a strike pack and aimbot, along with a photo, an image of him showing his aimbot whilst going up into the helicopter from a win. And that is why the journey started, but it certainly isn't why it continued. And another thing that a lot of you guys didn't really see going on is the team I've had working with me in the background, my partner being one of them, a friend of mine who goes by the name of Snail online. Hey listen, this guy has been a massive help from pretty much the very beginning with the video series we put out. Me and him sat there discussing things, and that's when we started putting pen to paper and moving forward into this video series, and it was a massive hit. And that is all thanks to him and my partner giving me the right direction in which to take this. And I'm not putting blame on them either, right? If anyone wants to blame anyone, if they've been called out on this channel, hey, speak to me. These guys put the hard work in the background without wanting any form of recognition. Well, here it is. Thank you very much to them both, okay? They have been massive help to me and a massive help to all you guys, and you didn't even know it. I realised how big the cheating problem was along the way. I was putting these videos out, people started contacting me saying, hey listen, check out this streamer, he's snappy. But back then as well, guys, this is the big part now. Back then, people weren't fine-tuning their aimbot. They weren't, so it was literally snapping left and right, and people thought that these guys were just that good. They thought that this was natural behaviour within the game, again, because nobody really had full knowledge of aimbot. Everybody's heard of aimbot at this point. Everybody had heard of aimbot back then, but what people thought aimbot was isn't what it actually is. So people thought aimbot was headshots only, can't miss a shot, or you can shoot the sky and it'll hit somebody even if they're behind you, which by the way, that's what silent aim pretty much does now. But people had this understanding that aimbot was only the keyboard and mouse. People understood that aimbot only was headshots and never missed a bullet. But that's where I come in, and I started educating people on exactly how the cheats worked, showing cheat menus, showing all the different settings, explaining how certain streamers are cheating, showing certain streamers with suspicious gameplay. And it's been a very bumpy road, guys, hasn't it? Let's be honest. We've caused absolute controversy across the whole of the Warzone community. And I'm happy about that, because now everybody who's ever watched one of my videos, whether they liked my videos or not, they will look at a streamer and question their gameplay, and that is how it should be. Unfortunately, there hasn't been an anti-cheat involved in Call of Duty Warzone from the very beginning. Well, there was, but it was sort of like probably just one man sitting there going, I'll ban him. Nah, he's alright. Maybe put him in a shadow ban. No, ban him. You know, it wasn't really an anti-cheat, was it? There was no detection of injection from the cheats or anything of the sort. And that's now where we're at. We're here now. We've been through that whole journey. We've shown you gameplay of top level content creators who are suspicious as hell. We've had our back and forths with them as well. And to the point where their whole community and top level content creators surrounding them have said, why would a top level content creator cheat? Why would a top level streamer need to cheat and ruin everything he's got? When in fact, you've got to look at the other side of the picture. These guys are also exposing people for cheating in the Twitch Rivals tournaments, in other $100,000 tournaments. And also, there was one recently against Scump and Dashi in a tournament in Vanguard. So they're playing S&D and this guy was walling and he had his walls on show on his monitor cam. So you've got to realise, if these guys are in tournaments against other people who are actually caught cheating with proof, what's stopping them from being in the same boots? Only being more clever about it and hiding it. And that's always the questions we've been wanting to ask here on this channel. And we've always been able to say 100% cheating when in fact it is 100%. And we've always asked the questions when questions need asking. And that's the main thing about this channel that makes it different to any other. And what you've got to remember as well is back in September 2020, there was absolutely nobody else out there who was willing to sit here, put their face on camera and ask the questions that I've asked. And I've had my face blasted all over the internet. I've had news articles written about me where not a single nice word has actually been mentioned. And I've loved every second of it. I've loved the fact that eyes are being opened across the whole community to the point where even the haters who don't like me are in fact still questioning certain streamers' gameplay. The fact that these guys have watched some of my videos, they will have learned something from them. And that is a massive positive for me. The fact that even the haters who have watched in the past will have learned something. And from the very beginning, people were saying, what are you going to do if Call of Duty bring out an anti-cheat? Well, that was always something that we were aiming towards. If we could make that much of a ruckus, that much of an impact on the community, showcasing how many cheaters are actually out there, maybe Activision will have to pull the finger out and actually build or incorporate or bring in a third party anti-cheat. And guess what? They have done. Does it work at this point? We don't know. It seems to be sort of touch and go. There are signs saying yes, it is working in certain points, but other parts saying it's not going to work. But it does seem like rage hackers are going to be able to continue to cheat in the game. They'll just continue making new accounts. We actually have a video coming out in a couple of days about how these guys are actually able to make thousands of accounts a day, tens of thousands a day. And that's how they're able to just continue to rehashing accounts, get permabanned into another one, permabanned into another one. And these guys won't stop. They enjoy doing what they do. They enjoy knowing that their Ricochet anti-cheat isn't going to be able to stop them. It'll stop that one account, but it won't stop them as a person. They will continue to cheat. But again, that is all for future videos. But what I want to say right here now is that I never expected to be sat here in the position I'm in today. I wasn't planning on ever being mentioned in news articles. I wasn't planning on ever being known by a lot of people and hated by more. But here I am. And it doesn't matter for me whether or not people like me or hate me. They know who I am and they know my videos and they know that they are always going to be here on this channel. So if at any point the person you've ever defended, the streamer you've ever defended, has a moment where you think that is not natural, come back, watch the videos on this channel. They will always be here and it will always be there for proof of suspicious gameplay or proof that somebody's been banned in the past. If you ever think that somebody is cheating, go and type their name in on YouTube. Maybe there's a video from another channel out there as well. Maybe there's one on this channel. I think we've actually got over 400 videos on this channel now, and it is all to do with Warzone and the cheating problem. But I always said along the whole way, if they did incorporate an anti-cheat that worked, then the work on this channel is done. That doesn't mean the channel's done, because we can move forward. I might even put some gameplay out. Warzone gameplay, what are we saying? Who wants to see it? No? Only the haters want to see that, don't they? I'll go and drop some 10 bombs, 5 bombs, but it'll all be legit. But guys, I think it's fantastic the community we've grown here on the channel. When I started this video series, I had 2,400 subscribers, I believe it was. And now we're sitting here on 55,000 of us, all a part of the BadBoy Beaman community. Some of those are probably haters who've actually subscribed with notifications on so they can come and drop a post. But that doesn't matter either, because those guys are still seeing the content, and that is all it's ever been about, is putting a message across, putting my opinion across to you guys and asking you for yours. Because hey, that's what a community's for, discussion. And that's all we've ever done. We've discussed things. I've read your comments along the way over the past 14, 15 months, however long it's been. And I think it's fantastic. And moving forward, we're going to be doing big things on the Triple B Gaming News channel. 5, maybe 6 uploads a day, with potential for a website coming out as well. Still in talks with a couple of people about that. If anybody wants to get involved and be a part of the team over there, if you have any sort of web design experience, writing experience, journalist experience, you've got an email address over there if you want to reach out and, you know, discuss it further. But thank you all. And the reason I'm thanking you all is because without you guys supporting this channel, it wouldn't have been anything. the voice wouldn't have been heard, my opinions wouldn't have been out to the public to actually hear, but people listened, and you guys who subscribed here on this channel are the people who listened, and I thank you all very much for that. And I hope that your opinions always stay your own as well. Because one thing I've always promoted on this channel is critical thinking. I don't want you to hear what I say and think it's fact. I don't want you to hear what I say and think that it's truth. I want you to go and do your own research. Always ask my community to go and do that, because, hey, maybe I missed something. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe this, maybe that. And it happens from time to time. And you guys can come and say, yo, check this out. This proves that you're wrong, or this proves you're right. This backs up your story. This backs up your claim. And it's good that the community have been involved throughout the whole way. I've always kept full anonymity throughout, from messages that I've received on Twitter, and that will stay and remain that way. I will never ever show those messages to anyone. But a lot of you guys out there have helped me massively along this journey. Thank you so much. And it's also because of you guys that these streamers now have to sit there and worry about whether or not they're going to be exposed. These streamers have to sit there and wonder, is BadBoy Beaman going to make a video about this? We've got them shook. They might not be able to admit that. In fact, they never will admit it. But we have. They mention me in every other breath. They mention this channel in every other breath. Whether it be in a joking manner or a trolling manner or anything of the such, it is still them mentioning us because we've been heard. Shout out to every single one of you, all 55,600 and however other many there are on this channel. You guys are the real brains behind this whole operation, so thank you massively. Moving forward with this channel, what's going to be happening is we will still continue to put out these videos, and as you may have noticed over the last couple of weeks, it is not going to be as often. The reason for that is because there is a massive focus at the minute on the BadBoy Gaming News channel, because with that channel we are putting out the other side of the news. If you try and find the news about something going on in the esports or gaming scene, you will only find those articles and the news outlets putting out those biased stories, so biased it's almost disgusting. But what we're doing on that channel, we're putting out the other side of the news. It's the news without the ass kissing. And that is why we are putting a main focus on that. We're possibly going to be having a website set up in 2022. And if any of you guys who are a part of the BadBoy Beaman community actually want to get involved in that website project and the whole BadBoy Gaming News project as a whole, reach out to me if you have any experience that could potentially help that. Reach out on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. This channel is going to be covering the cheating side of things still. BadBoy Beaman is always going to be about that, and maybe, just maybe at some point, we might be able to let it go and move forward with our own gameplay. But until we see a return from Ricochet AntiCheat on the whole cheating problem that's occurring in Warzone, I just can't take the foot off the gas at the minute. But the videos coming out in the future on this channel will either be me giving information like this, or will be me showcasing certain things from either a streamer who's been caught, or from the cheat development side of things, showing exactly what they're doing to try and bypass Ricochet and so on. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it was a long one, guys. I put a little bit of background music in because hopefully it makes it a little bit more entertaining and my monotone voice just doesn't sort of drown you to sleep. But if you did enjoy the video, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to share the video out, because this is a story that a lot of people have wanted to hear. Some people have heard it already in bits, but it's all put into one. I want you guys to hear my story, why I started, why we continued, and where we're going in the future. And this is all thanks to every single one of you again, guys. Thank you so much for the support along the way. Without that support, this wouldn't have been possible. And I'd like to think we had a big part to play in the fact that Activision decided to pull the finger out and incorporate an anti-cheat into their game. If you are new to the channel, guys, subscribe and turn on notifications, because moving forward we are still going to be posting videos that you will definitely enjoy. And also, for anybody who isn't already, go and check out the BadBoy Gaming News channel. It's linked in the description below. It's going to be great. That's going to be massive over the next year. Trust me, you want to be a part of it. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at BadBoy Beaman. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!